of Israel as citizens. We work secular jobs as well as participating and being involved in full-time ministry. Devon had to serve in the Army. We pay taxes. What else do we do?
We go on the bus.
Yeah, we go on the bus every day. We are fully engaged in the culture and in the economy of the land of Israel. We vote as citizens, as people who live there, not just people who are visiting, but we're part of what God is doing to restore the land of Israel in the last days before Yeshua returns to the earth. And so I always, like, when people ask, I kind of stole my friend's answer, and I just like to say, well, we're living there. We're really building a home in the land of Israel. That's what we're doing. But what that looks like for us would be that Devon is a teacher and working in education administration at 2 different schools, the Messianic private school and the Anglican International School. And I practiced architecture before we had our son. Now I'm a stay-at-home mom with him. And I do some freelance design projects on the side, and when he's older, I do hope to practice architecture again. But right now, he's my full-time job, and my architectural practice consists of building train tracks and Lego towers. But I'm doing it in Israel, which is amazing. And also, Devon works for a ministry called Intercessors for Israel, which I'll have him tell you about right now.
So the ministry that I work for is called Intercessors for Israel. And as its name kind of signifies, it is all about raising up intercession for the land of Israel, for the people of Israel, for the Jewish people around the world. Intercession is something that, in my opinion, is largely overlooked within the body nowadays. It's something that the generation that came before Callie and myself, they had a lot of experience with, a lot of exposure to, because there was a lot of writing about it, and there were many books about it. And intercession was something that was very, very important. And in fact, if you look at all of the revivals around the world that have happened historically, they've all been birthed out of a real desire for prayer, a real desire to seek the Lord continually through prayer and intercession. And so it's something that in Israel we're trying to raise up. And as intercessors for Israel, we're also trying to raise up intercession for Israel around the world. Why is it so important that we're raising up intercession for Israel? Why not intercessors for Germany, or intercessors for England, or intercessors for Australia? Why is it so important that we have an intercessory movement in Israel? Well, Israel right now, as we've said, we're seeing the actual fulfillment of prophecies within Israel. And one of the prophecies that is absolutely vital, in my opinion, is something that we see in Ezekiel 36. In Ezekiel 36, if we read through it, starting at verse 20, it is a beautiful picture of salvation, and specifically salvation for the Jewish people. But it starts off with a declaration that the Jewish people have actually profaned the name of God wherever they've gone in the world. That the other nations have seen that, and that grieves the Lord. It grieves the Lord's heart that His name is being profaned. And so, not for the sake of Israel, not because they're special, unique, blessed among all other nations, but purely for His name's sake, because He has called Israel, He has called the nation of Israel to be a nation set apart for Himself. Purely for His name's sake, He will bring them back to His land. He will bring them back to the land of Israel. He will establish them. He will give them a new heart. He will wipe them clean. He will wash them with clean water, and they will be cleaned. And so this prophecy, which is a beautiful picture of salvation on a national level, is something that we're seeing fulfilled in this very day. We're seeing the children of Israel coming from all corners of the earth. If you go to Jerusalem in this day, if you go to Jerusalem, you see and hear so many different languages. You'll hear French and Russian, German, you'll hear Chinese, you'll hear Ethiopian, you'll hear so many different languages that are just in Jerusalem alone. it's amazing to see the prophecies of God being fulfilled. And one of the things that is important for prophecies or promises of God being fulfilled is the ministry of intercession. And the ministry of intercession is standing in the place before God the way Moses did and saying, Lord, you cannot allow your wrath to come and consume these people, because the nations around will say, where is your God, O Israel? It's for the sake of the name of God that he would fulfill his promises to his people, that he would fulfill his promises in the land of Israel, and that the people of Israel would come back. And in the land of Israel, it says, they will be sprinkled with clean water.